Welcome to Pioneering Possibilities. This is not a podcast series. I'll call this as a moment wherein industry stalwarts and Alfa Laval interact with each other on creating sustainability and creating a sustainable future. I'm Snehal from Alfa Laval, Head of Clean Technologies. Warmly welcome Mr. Siddharth Mayur from H2E Power Home Hydrogen. Welcome Siddharth to Alfa Laval.
Thank you, Snehal.
Green hydrogen we have been seeing worldwide. Even in India as well, there is a hell lot of seriousness on this topic. We have been meeting at several conferences, summits. We are witnessing efforts of Government of India, MNRE, Niti Aayog, lot many government bodies. Green hydrogen is the molecule which is going to help the industries in creating a decarbonized future. And now we have been seeing H2E Power's efforts in this industry. So, first of all, welcome to Alfa Laval. This is a great opportunity to learn and understand from you, your vision, your way of thinking for this market. So can you please throw some light on this green hydrogen, how it is going to help India as a country in creating a decarbonized future? Your way, please, understanding this.
Thank you, Snehal. And at first, I want to thank Alfa Laval for doing a series of this kind, because I think this is very, very important for people at large to know what exactly is happening in the real world. We go to conferences, we see a lot of presentations that happen, which are very doctored presentations. You know, these candid dialogues, I think, are very, very important for not only the industry, but for policymakers and also for students of this particular space who are, trying to make a career in energy as a subject. Coming to green hydrogen, this morning Times of India carried a very interesting article saying that hydrogen is not really something that we should be overjoyed about, we should be cautious about it. So somebody messaged me in the morning that what does this mean for you guys? And I wrote back saying that there are two sides to every coin. There's never is the perfect thing. But people talk about decarbonization, people talk about carbon neutrality. As much as I believe in all of those, I look at this whole green hydrogen revolution in India as something which will reduce our imports. I think for India, the reduction of imports is very, very important. We have more than 2 lakh crores of energy import bill that India has today. And as the Honorable Prime Minister has envisioned, the Vikasit Bharat by 2047 is when we will have zero imports. So just imagine 2 lakh crore rupees being spent in India, the kind of opportunities that it is going to throw in. That's one part of the vision on hydrogen. The second part is providing energy security. See, today, whatever we say, India still is an energy poor country. Fortunately, every house today has an electrical connection, but every house does not have 24/7 electricity. So that's the opportunity for us. And while doing that, if we do not burn carbon, if you're doing it through a cleaner means, I think it is icing on the cake. Couldn't have it better. So there's something that, when I started my company in the late 2009, I had coined this term saying Swadeshi Urja Swawalambi Bharat. And that necessarily translates in English, if you do a literal translation, means Swadeshi Urja. So if it is energy made in India, only then can we be a self-reliant nation. So 1947 we became independent, 2047 we should become energy independent. So that for me is the drive. And while doing that, decarbonization, carbon neutrality, net zero are an obvious byproduct that comes with it. So if your wife cooks a very good meal, a very nice dal or very nice sabji, the other contaminants are, they just come with it. So that's how I look at carbon neutrality coming in. But the green hydrogen ecosystem, the nature of the decentralization that these technologies provide. So if you look at a fuel cell, or if you even look at an electrolyzer, this building that we're sitting in today can be completely energy independent. You do not take anything from outside, you do not give anything outside. So that's how every individual should become an energy generator. Every house, every building, every society, every county, every city. And that's how we will really bring in this big revolution, the real revolution in energy. And by the way, it will be green. So, that will be India's greatest contribution to the world.
something very important came up. You mentioned 2047 energy independence. Like industries are going to play a very important role in this journey. We have been witnessing, because we help the customer in terms of waste heat recovery, energy efficiency, preheating, pre-cooling, multiple applications we take care of. And when we interact with the industry, we also observed that there is a huge pressure and a will from the industry on sustainability. They are also taking efforts. But when it comes to hard to abate sector and some sort of industries, still they need to learn and upgrade some part on the technological front to actually reduce CO2 footprint. So what advice would you like to give to the industries to make them work on sustainability and help them to achieve sustainability targets? Advice from your side to the industry. You can mention about hard to abate sector because they are the biggest CO2 emitters.
Very interesting question, Snehal. I think for the hard to abate sector or any other sector, the first priority, as I look at it, is behavioral change. And I face this every time I go. And when you talk about this in forums, or when you talk about this with the ministries or the government, there is a lot of gung-ho about the whole story. The moment you get on the ground, the moment I go and try and sell a green hydrogen solution or a microgrid solution or an end-to-end solution for net zero to any industry, there is resistance. And it is more to do with behavioral change. You go to a bank, there is resistance. That, we've not seen this happen for 10 years, so how will we fund this? We've not seen this work in 20 places, so how will we do this? So the behavioral aspect, I think, is number one most important. The number two most important aspect is training. Unless you have enough skilled people. See, as an industry also, I look at it from, I put myself on both the chairs. I'm okay to, invest into technology, but if there are not enough people who are able to cater to this, to service this, to maintain this. So skilling is, I think, one of the key areas, and very happy that the government has taken this up very seriously. We're looking at almost 3 million skilled people coming out in the next 4 to 5 years, which will be very, very encouraging. And then the last but not the least is every industry, and especially the hard to abate sectors that you mentioned, just for the climate, just for you to save your future medical bills, they need to agree to take a hit on their balance sheet at least for 1 or 2 years. And I'm not talking a major hit, but there has to be some investment that they will need to put upfront in technologies which are currently expensive. Everybody is waiting that when will hydrogen become $2? Some people also say $1. So, we are all waiting for that moment to happen, and then we will jump in. So, chicken and egg situation. So, people who are in the seat of power, who have good balance sheets today, and who really can make a difference, are the people or companies who need to take that call. Who need to just push themselves and say that for this 1 year we will spend, say, 1% of our profits in the new age technologies.
This molecule is really interesting, Siddharth. This conversation has made me to think about the stack technology, related PAM, alkaline, SOEC and annihilation membrane. All four technologies are very interesting. And while we work on these technologies, make them more and more energy efficient, always something comes in my mind about SOEC and SOFC. And now we have been seeing H2E Power as a homey hydrogen. You work a lot on SOEC and SOFC. It would be really nice to have your views on this technology. First of all, why this is more energy efficient compared to alkaline or PAM or any other technology. What innovations and developments in this technology are going to help the industry in terms of consumption reduction in terms of electricity, because that is the major while we do the costing of green hydrogen. No doubt, alkaline is also picking up in India because the chloroalkali process and the awareness and the cost economics definitely. But SOEC is another area where your thought process on SOEC and SOFC as well. It would be very nice if you can throw some light on SOEC and SOFC, because large project what we are seeing in India, let it be IOCL or BPCL recent announcement, those are alkaline if I am not wrong. You can throw some light on that as well. But please give us some idea about this SOEC technology and SOFC technology. Your views on this, please.
See, these technologies, again, even today they look like a futuristic vision that I have. I started talking about this in 2011, 2012. But even today there is resistance, and the resistance is again looking at the way our culture is built, the industry culture and also the government culture. It's always L1. So it is the cheapest that we need. And I always counter that with saying that if you throw peanuts, you're always going to get monkeys. Yeah, so you have to look at better technologies, and it's not necessary that solid oxide is the one short solution for everything. It's not the magic wand, but in specific industries, this technology will have a very interesting impact if you really look at process industries, for instance. So solid oxide, why we chose solid oxide? I mean, I work in the alkaline space as well, but solid oxide is kind of my favorite child, if you ask me, between the two. It's because I go back into the backward integration. If you look at the stack, for example, every component, every chemistry is can be made in India. The chemicals are available in India. I don't have to import anything. So that is the first big plus for the technology for me. We are able to build this technology within India with the balance of plants, and then we are working with companies like yours on the heat exchanger side, which is a very important part of things. And solid oxide being a high temperature electrolyzer, it can break the hydrogen, the water molecule more effectively, and therefore the energy consumption is about 37 kilowatt hour per kg of hydrogen, which is very, very aggressive, which is very interesting. Yes. But it needs 24/7 power. So you cannot switch it on and switch it off at will. So that is one of the negatives of the technology. But I always say that if we can hybridize, if I can bring alkaline or a AEM along with solid oxide, we'll be able to build a very sustainable module. And if you look at process industries, so industries like steel, for instance, or cement, food processing industries, or biogas industries, where you emit carbon dioxide, so where CO2 is a problem. So with solid oxide, you can do a co-electrolysis and you can produce syngas. And then syngas becomes your basic building block for any hydrocarbon. So if I'm really looking at the energy transition before a time when hydrogen will become a household story, 30, 40 years from now, in that energy transition, we have to reduce the carbon. It cannot become zero. It should not also become zero, otherwise life will not exist. But we will need to, whatever excess carbon we are emitting, we need to take care of that. Again, on the fuel cell side, solid oxide being high temperature, it's a combined heat power system. So if I put it in a house, I'm able to take care of the entire heating, cooling solutions as well as electricity. So for stationary power, you need to have a technology like solid oxide. You look at mobility, or you look at a power backup, you look at PEM. So there is no one technology, though I am a technocrat and I'm deep into technology, but I always say that I'm a technology agnostic person. And it's only because every application deserves a particular technology. There has to be a bespoke process we do. For your home, you'll need something else. For your office, you'll need something else. For the industry, you'll need something else. So in that sense, coexistence of all these technologies. See, the enemy here is not solar, enemy here is not alkaline or PEM or batteries. Enemy here is fossil. So we have to make it very clear that first you have to identify who the enemy is. And if you have to beat that enemy, then all of these technologies have to come together. All the companies working on this, and then this very interesting thing that I mentioned to MNRE a couple of weeks back. They had an R&D conference, and then they had asked me on the panel. So they said that, what is the recommendation for MNRE? I said, why don't you create industry partnerships? Why can't I and my competitor co-share IP? We have to develop this industry. We have to grow this industry. Why don't I open up the work that I'm doing with, say, a Schneider Electric or Alfa Laval to my competitor and tell them that this is how we can serve the market better. At the end of the day, let the customer decide who can give a better service, who can give a better sustainable process, and that's the company who will win. But right now, it is not the time to compete. It is not the time to pull each other down. It is time to bring the industry up. We need to really work together hand in hand with every component manufacturer, with every supply chain, with also the end customer. So if I'm going to IOCL, for example, L&T, me, or someone like Advait or Greenco, all of us need to go together rather than hiding from each other. And that's how you grow an industry. That's how it has to be done.
It gives a very, very important message: collaboration and partnership.
No, of course, it's the 3 C's. It is communicate, cultivate, and collaborate.
Well said.
It cannot work any other way. Otherwise, the industry will go down. See, if I'm just looking at my balance sheet for 2026, and my investors are looking at my balance sheet on 2026, 27, innovation goes down, number one. There is no healthy development of the market. We will make good business in 2 years, but the third year, the story will go down because the industry itself will go down.
Conversation, you mentioned that SOEC, high temperature applications, and we as a company, we have been giving heat exchangers on variety of applications. But when we started working on SOEC, we had to really develop a mini factory in Sweden to address this SOEC heat exchange requirement. So that was a project for us, but we have succeeded in terms of helping this industry. And you rightly mentioned, partnership and collaborations are going to lead for the success in this market. When it comes to some projects which becomes the benchmark for the industry, if you don't mind, can you some examples about some innovative projects what you did in India, our country, on hydrogen or ammonia or something which is very interesting to you? Can you share a couple of examples on innovative projects and your participation in this market?
Thank you for this wonderful question, Snehal. I think you've just, it is, if you ask a mother, tell me about your child, then that excitement. So that's how it is for the projects that we've done. I'll tell you about 2 projects we've done, and there's another 2 that we are doing. So, because this is all work in progress as we speak. So the first one was on an AEM technology. And this was probably the first green hydrogen plant commissioned in India. This was in April 2022. And I always mention this, not just because it was the first one, but because the amount of learnings we had in that particular project. We've done projects in Europe before. It's not, electrolyzer was not a new story to me. 2013 is when I first touched and felt an electrolyzer. But this project threw up challenges which were unexpected and unknown. This was in a place called Jorat. We did it with Oil India. And some of the components like a mass flow meter just failed there. I went to the vendor who supplied this. We went all the way to the United States. They said this is a product which is commercialized for 80 years, cannot go wrong. But it did. Jorat has a relative humidity of 85%, 360 days a year. That's where it went wrong. So the learnings on the balance of plant, on how this whole thing behaves, what animal we are dealing with. See, hydrogen or electrolyzers have been in play for a long time. But I was telling my team about this, we have this town hall every week. So I was telling them that somebody asked me a question that 100 years back also people used electrolyzers. But why do we face challenges now? I said 100 years back, it was one of the side actors in a movie. Today it is the showstopper. So electrolyzer is the Amitabh Bachchan today, or Shah Rukh Khan today, whatever you may call. So therefore, the stress on the electrolyzer is much more than what it was in the past. It was just used as a byproduct related story. Now it is the principal product, and there is a lot of innovation therefore coming in. So there was good learning there. The second project was the first ever solid oxide electrolyzer built in India.
I saw that on social media.
Yes, that was done with HPCL and NTPC. So we did 2 of these projects. We are doing one more for Indian Oil now. But these 2 projects they have been tremendous. Whatever we knew about solid oxide, there was a lot of unlearning and there was relearning to build the entire balance of plant, to assemble the hot box here. That hot box is a different story altogether. So it was a very big challenge for us. Generally, you would feel bad about this, but happy to say that we were delayed by almost a year. We were also charged late charges for the delay. See, contracts are very unsympathetic. They wouldn't care whether you're innovating for the country or no. But despite that, and the delays happened because we refused to put a system on the ground which we were not satisfied with. We wanted to make sure that everything works well, and we get good learnings from those. So the balance of plant was built very well. The stack integration was done well. We've written a couple of patents in that process while doing that, and I think one of the interactions with Alfa Laval on the heat exchanger side has emerged out of this experience, because we realized that what we were missing on, and if we are able to innovate together, we'll be able to solve a very important problem on the heat recovery, the heat recirculation that we can do, and make the system efficient on a sustainable basis. See, proving the system that it will consume 37 is easy, but after 10,000 hours, still proving that is difficult part. So there, I think this industry partnership on component level is very important. We are now working with Schneider also on this entire AI/ML thing, where proud to say that we've been able to demonstrate, at least at a lab level, that we are saving about 4 to 5% of the transit power between the stack to the BOP. The target is to reduce it by at least 1 to 1.5 kWh. Now you know what the cost of electricity and what it does to the cost of hydrogen. So that was a very interesting project for us. It still is ongoing. We've completed 5,000 hours of operation. And I think if you look at any other project in the world, the cost at which we did that compared to a similar project in Europe, it was less than 1/10 the cost. Even though in Indian context it is considered to be a very expensive project, but 1/10 of the cost. And I have my European scientists or American collaborators who marvel at the number that we speak. So that was, I think, a very important part of the process. What we are doing now, there are two projects that we are involved with, is doing a co-electrolysis with solid oxide. So we're taking carbon dioxide and steam and producing syngas. We're doing that at almost a 92% efficiency. And from the syngas, we are going downstream, and we will, I think, by Q2 or Q3 next year, we will have SAF produced from there. So that will be, I think, a major achievement. And then that opens up the doors for commercial SAF production using the solid oxide technology. The second project that we are working on, and I had also put a post on LinkedIn on that, again with these green ammonia tenders, they came out, and then they did very
saw that, yeah,
very well. India was able to redefine the numbers.
They call it discovered price for all green ammonia.
No, that price is so amazing that one of the Chinese suppliers of an ammonia skid told me that the Chinese are scared of this price. So for a change, we were able to scare the Chinese, which is a good part. But I hope that we are able to deliver at that price. So we participated in the tenders as well. Unfortunately, we could not win, and that loss was something that triggered a different kind of a tsunami of thoughts in our minds. So we went back to the drawing board. We worked out the numbers, and I think by somewhere around September, October next year, we'll be able to demonstrate ammonia production at 38 rupees per kilogram. So the last tender went at 50 rupees per kilogram with the incentives.
This is magical number.
Yeah, so I'm talking about 38 rupees. The cost of commercial ammonia today is 46, what RCF sells in the market. So you're looking at 38 production cost. That will be a disruption of sorts. So we are doing two things there. One is using solid oxide. Again, the high efficiency is giving me better numbers. The high temperature of hydrogen also is a better thing for ammonia production. And we are innovating on the ammonia loop. We are working on ammonia loop with a 50 bar pressure as against 200 or 250 bar of the commercial Haber-Bosch processes. And all of these things are done within India with Indian academic institutions and Indian scientists. So it's a complete.
It's something like Make in India for global.
Of course. I always joke with people that most of the times we are doing Make in India to provide business to Chinese companies. So it's about time that we don't assemble in India, we really make in India, in every sense. The spirit has to be there, the content has to be there, and it has to be followed up. So 50% of the work is done. The remaining 50% is yet to be done, but I'm sure that we will succeed in this. I claim October 26, maybe it will be a couple of months plus minus. Plus hi hoga, minus so it's difficult. But if I'm able to produce ammonia at 38 rupees, imagine where we are moving with this, because India needs to take care of 2 million tons of ammonia imports that we do. And if this technology can be adopted, India can create another revolution. So, I always say this, that the country should decide on technology per end result or per process. So, if I'm able to prove this, then for ammonia, let us look at solid oxide technology. If it is your hydrogen refilling stations, let's look at an AEM or an alkaline or a PEM as a technology. If it's for a refinery application, let's look at a different technology. So, it cannot be a one size fit all, ever. We'll need to look at processes, and then we need to highlight that this is what the country needs to do. So just like in sport, it's like javelin, we won a gold, so let's focus on javelin, or let's focus on 400 meter, or let's focus on badminton. Then your chances of getting the gold increase, rather than if you focus on 50 different sports. So similarly, if we just focus on, say, the steel industry, the ammonia industry, we focus on the refineries, then we'll be able to really bring a lot of value. And I think these 4 projects, 2 that we've done and 2 that we are doing, are game changing, not only for H2E, but for the overall industry in India. I would not really look at solid oxide or alkaline. Let's look at it as a green tech industry. That's a major impact.
These emerging technologies are actually helping industry in reducing CO2 footprint. We discussed about the heat content of this overall process, because electrolysis is exothermic. Now we as a company, Alfa Laval, being member of European Hydrogen Council, and we keep ourselves fully engaged into adding energy efficiency to the overall processes. Every kilocalorie of heat content in the process matters. What's more sustainable than you recover that heat? Now I'll quote a couple of examples from our side. Heat is getting generated, recover the heat, reuse the heat, repurpose the heat, and generate ultra pure water, which is the most important piece of this puzzle. So we have a technology called as a fresh water generator, and we call that as a FWG, H2O technology. It takes out the heat of electrolysis process and converts seawater or river water to ultra pure water, which can be used in electrolysis process. So this emerging technology is going to help the industry meeting their sustainability goals and targets. So from your way or your perspective, do you see potential of these emerging technologies which will help the industry in reducing CO2 footprint and making them achieve their sustainability goals? We can take examples of this electrolysis process as well. What do you say on this emerging technology helping industry in achieving sustainability goals?
See, when you say emerging technology, it is emerging only because there is a pain point and it has to solve something. So that's how, even companies like Alfa Laval or companies like H2E or any other company, we will only look at technology if it is solving a particular problem. And the water generation, and I've seen the product that you people are doing, is going to become more and more important. Like I'm also working on wastewater recovery, how we can use that, because today we have good rains. I mean, we've had exceptional rainfall, but there will be a time in the next 10, 12 years when we'll have deficient rainfall. And when the choice is between drinking water and hydrogen, it's clear who will win. It's a no-brainer. So how we can repurpose, innovate, and bring water from places which do not affect fresh water, do not affect drinking water or agriculture. I think those would be very, very important. And we are very keen and very happy to engage in these technologies and put it in our projects. Now, we no longer are doing pilot projects, but on commercial projects to look at these technologies. What worst can happen is we will fail. So, that's we will lose money. But other than that, I think if we succeed, we will be able to define a very important process. And you spoke about heat, which is, I think, the most unspoken about subject in the country or in the world also.
Heat which is already being generated.
Exactly. So we always look at the end story. We never look at what exactly happens in between. We're always interested in the car ignition and we don't care what happens and how the car is really running. If you even look at heat, the heat recovery and the heat decimation, space district cooling, district heating. I'm working on a very interesting project. Again, this is connected to agriculture. That's how I started my company also, to provide energy independence to 118 million farmers in this country who own land less than 2 hectares. If you really look at just the warehousing in India, okay, cold and warm warehouses, if you're able to use the heat strategically, we'll be able to save at least 600 to 700 million of food and vegetable that gets wasted or rotten from the farm to the warehouse, only in that space.
You're mentioning farm to warehouse.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give you an example of onion. Just take, we produce onion for 3 months, we eat it for 12 months. Onion, if it is stored between 25 and 28 degrees, can last for 6 to 8 months. 24 it will rot, 29 it will rot. We've built warehouses, but those warehouses are only storing the onion. It is not providing the temperature gradient. And because of that, what happens is the farmer sells at 3 rupees, the middleman sells it at 7 rupees. You buy it anywhere from 10 rupees to 90 rupees. 2 governments fell only because of onion. If you are able to solve this, 30% of onion, by the way, in Lasalgaon rots because it cannot be stored properly. If I am able to use the heat properly on a combined heat power solid oxide fuel cell, we take the heat, we intelligently use it, we will be able to give a 24/7 solution. It will change the whole agriculture scenario in this country.
Siddharth, when we are working on some energy efficiency project, say it is alkaline, so it is anion exchange membrane or PEM electrolysis. So far we have been supporting the industry up to 100 kilowatt, 500 kilowatt, maximum like 20 megawatt or not beyond that. But this recent IOCL and BPCL project has given a spark in the Indian geography for green hydrogen, because this is a commercial size large project. And if we see the green hydrogen mission and understand that thoroughly, it also emphasizes on Make in India to support our economy, reduce foreign bill and self-dependency, because energy independence aiming 2047, so India has to have that infrastructure built in India to support this green hydrogen community. We both play a vital role in this transition. So what is your say on Make in India, possibilities? Will it be possible? How difficult, how easy is this Make in India on green hydrogen, green ammonia?
So my take on this, Snehal, is if it is difficult only, then it's worth doing. So it definitely is difficult, and therefore, all of us are working towards this. But the Make in India, as much as, we all have this nationalistic pride, but localizing the manufacturing process, so whether it is in India, whether it is in China, whether it is Germany, doesn't matter, is very important for sustainability of this entire process. And I'll give you the numbers. When we built a typical electrolyzer plant today, we generally look at 12 to 15 months or maybe 8 months even to build a complete plant. Most of these plants, like you said, now we are going beyond that 20 megawatt kind of number, on individual projects. A typical project becomes in the range of 10 to 15 million US dollars, about 120 crore rupees. And if you are going to build a plant in 12 months, where you get paid 80% only on delivery, where your working capital financing goes to about 11 or 12%, put the number, you can never make business sense. It's a lost cause, one should never do this. So therefore localization. So, and not only building the electrolyzer or building the fuel cell, there are 300 components within an electrolyzer. Each component has to be built here. So our effort as a company also, and we're working with a lot of partners, we never call them vendors because we are together in this.
We are together in this journey.
So could be a heat exchanger, could be also Inconel nut, to that level. If all of these are built in about 100 kilometer periphery from where I am, if my inventories follow the Kaizen Ichiban approach of Toyota or the Six Sigma approaches, where the inventory is 48 hours, 50 hours, if I'm able to build a complete electrolyzer and deliver it in 150 to 200 days, that's when you're talking business. That's when the numbers will come in. That's when your profit and loss will look good, your aging will look good, your chartered accountant will be happy, your investors will be happy. So the nationalistic pride, of course, is paramount. But unless you make business sense, unless you're making money as a business, it will not last long. So in that regard, the localization is very, very important. And I'm going even micro. So if I'm setting up a plant in Uttar Pradesh, the localization should be in UP. Like we are doing something in Maharashtra, we're talking to the government that why don't you create a complete industrial cluster, just like you are in PCMC right now, you have an auto cluster here or you have an auto cluster in Chakan. So similarly, there should be a green tech cluster where all of the companies, soft services.
So you are in discussion with the central government or state government?
With the state government.
Oh.
That in Maharashtra, why don't we create a 1,000-2,000 acre of MIDC, which is a green tech MIDC. Every component manufacturer, every process manufacturer, every technology company, every institute, they should get placed there so that we have a localized ecosystem. Going one step further, what this also would do, the heat exchanger I'm buying from you, and if you're supplying from here to my plant in Jalgaon, there will be a point that will come that the carbon emitted to transport your product to my facility should be counted. It's not yet counted, but in my opinion, it should be counted. And that will then, put things in a spiral. If all of us are at one location, then we save on that carbon as well. So this is, I call it Industry 4.10. If people talk Industry 4.0, we really need to move there. And that is the level of localization. And all of this will only happen when you have a skill development initiative attached to it. Unless there are more and more people who are able to handle a heat exchanger or who are able to handle the hot box we do or the interconnect plates or the membranes, we will still be dependent. So when you're talking independence, when you're talking Swadeshi, Gandhiji gave that slogan, Sampurna Swaraj.
Sampurna Swaraj.
So if you want Sampurna Swaraj, then it has to be complete. You cannot leave any stone unturned on that.
Well said, Siddharth. Very well said. Green hydrogen is not the future, it is today. And we have to act upon now. So partnership, collaboration is gonna to be the mantra of success in this green hydrogen journey. It was excellent interacting with you, understanding your thoughts, your way, your thinking on Make in India, the technology SOEC and SOFC, in addition to alkaline PAM and anion exchange membrane. So this interaction encourages me to push you that would you like to give some sort of very important message to our audience on this green transition? Please, your say on this.
No, thank you for this, Snehal. This has been a great interaction also for me. Every time you speak with somebody, you learn something. So, there are interesting learning experiences. To give a message, I think I can only share my experience. I'm more a student rather than able or capable to say anything to highly qualified people. But I think my 2 cents to this is that I look at the students. Somebody asked me the other day that what if you are the Prime Minister for one day? What will be the first thing that you do? And as humbled as I felt, I said that the first thing I'll do is that in kindergarten class there will be a chapter or a book on climate responsibility as a subject. So, this I think is the most important thing for everyone, everyone sitting in this room here, everyone listening to this podcast, or every person walking on the street. If all of us become 1% more climate responsible than what we are, just like we need to be responsible about not littering on the road, but responsible about the climate. What if I decide that my mobile battery will be consumed 1% less today than what it was yesterday? We are saving power. Like my grandfather or most of our parents sermon us that 1 rupee saved is 2 rupees earned. So whatever you save will come back to you and give you better benefits in the future. So I think becoming climate responsible and therefore adopting technologies, not just for the heck of it, not just because some government or some interest is pushing something. If we all become responsible, the government of the day, the industry will walk in line or fall in line. If we try and demand solutions which can help our lives And at the end, I think, energy as a subject should always be free. It is the services that you make money on. The sun never charges you any money, but to maintain the ozone layer or maintain the decorum, we have to spend for it. So each one of us, if we look at energy as the third earning member of the family, and then start studying about it, start demanding from ourselves to begin with, and then demand it from the society and the government. And a last parting thought always is that let's not rely on 2G. And 2G means God and government, because God has 7 billion people to take care of, and government has about 140 crore Indians to take care of. So we need to do things ourselves. Let's not blame people. Let's not blame the government. Let us become climate responsible. अपनी पात्रता बढ़ाओ तो दान बढ़ेगा. That's what I believe in as an individual. That's what we are inculcating with as a philosophy in the company, and also with the partners that we work with. So that be my 2 cents to end this podcast, Snehal. Thank you.
Fantastic. In this journey, we are together.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much
Thank
for
you.
coming to Alfa Laval. Thank
Pleasure.
you.